Have you guys ever heard about the 5-album test? Basically, it's when you look at someone's discography to find their best releases and see how many of them were released one after another. And if they released 5 incredible albums one after another, then they've passed the test. This is incredibly complicated. The amount of consistency you need to have to release 5 top-tier albums in a row is insane. So, can the Beatles do it? Maybe, but before I answer the question, let me show you what a 5-album streak looks like featuring the one and only Bob Dylan. Starting with The Times Are Changing in 1964, then we go to another side of Bob Dylan, bringing it all back home, the beginning of his electric phase, Highway 61 Revisited, arguably one of the greatest folk albums of all time, and my personal favorite, Blonde on Blonde. That's how a fantastic 5-album run looks like, so let's go back to the Beatles. If you want to start from the Beatlemania years, then yeah, the Beatles definitely pass the test, but I think a lot of you will agree with me when I say that starting from Rubber Soul, the quality of the albums skyrocket. So let's try again. Starting from 1965's Rubber Soul, that's album number 1. Album number 2 would be 1966 Revolver, definitely fits. Then we go to 1967 Sgt. Pepper, definitely fits as well. Album number 5 would be 1968's The White Album, aka the greatest album ever made, so it clearly fits. The problem is album number 4. Look, I love Magical Mystery Tour as much as the next guy, but do you really think this album is at the level of Revolver or The White Album? To pass the test, you need to have a pristine run, with all of the albums being at the same level, and in my opinion, Magical Mystery Tour isn't. However, there's one little rule we can add, because Magical Mystery Tour wasn't even supposed to be an album. Originally, it was just an EP, and the same thing can be said about Yellow Submarine. So if you're only counting the albums that were supposed to be albums in the first place, the next one in line would be 1969's Abbey Road, and yeah, it definitely counts.